And we're happy to have Gina Miller here.
Yay, thank you for having me here. This is like the most warm, welcoming, fun morning talk show ever. It is. Yes, it is.
I said to Gina before, I'm like, it's kind of like you've done this before. You're really good at this. So.
Hosting an hour-long sports show will help you prepare you for anything, because you never know what will happen in that capacity.
I have to ask you one quick question. Why did you choose sports?
It's what I always wanted to do. I played, from Dallas, I went to Lake Hill Prep, and that was such a small private school that I was able to play every single sport imaginable. There were 18 people in my graduating class. I played volleyball, basketball, ran track, played softball, and even went to state in tennis, even though I never played tennis. That's how it was in my little league. And I was always a talker, so I really wanted to integrate the two.
So you did, and I think that's, what was your first sports job?
I got an internship with the Rockets when I was in college, won an NBA championship ring, was an assistant producer at KHOU in Houston in the sports department. My first on-air job, I was the sports director of KUAM-TV in Guam. Guam,
really?
below Asia and above Australia. Wow. And can I tell you the funny thing?
My respect for you just went like through the roof.
Well, it was a lot of fun for a 21-year-old girl because there are a lot of military. There's Anderson Air Force Base and a naval station on the island. But can I tell you the funny thing? My name is Gina Miller, and I hosted the Miller Lite sports page. So I would say Hafa-day, that's the greeting. Like aloha is what you say in Hawaiian. Hafa-day is what you say in Chamorro. Hafa-day, I'm Gina Miller with the Miller Lite sports page. Everybody on the island thought I was part of the Miller dynasty. So anywhere I went, there was a Miller beer on the bar. And the Miller people here are great friends of mine, but to this day, I don't drink Miller beer because everywhere I went in Guam, here you go, here's another Miller beer, Gina. I was like, okay, thank you, I'm good, really.
Great story, we're glad you're here at this juncture.
So fun.
Well, and, you know, we talk about women and aging and, you know, our body image and all that a lot on the show. And I am so excited. Well, I was so excited to read this article yesterday, and then I got to the end of it and not so much. But did you know that the new middle age that used to be maybe around 40 is now 47? So I'm so Yes, it bought me some time. I thought, but that's they basically were they're talking about like if a girl is in nursery school now, her middle age will be 47.
So yours is still 40.
Yeah,
so I'll be middle aged this year.
I'm actually middle aged. It says that 40. Let's see. And men age faster, obviously. So a woman who turns 40 this year is likely to live to 90, so middle age can be considered to start at 45.
That's me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
well,
you're not
wait a minute.
middle age till 45.
They live to 90. So
90.
what's old age?
80.
It's a matter of perspective.
Yes,
Matter of perspective.
Yes, Susie, so am I in high middle age? You are real high middle age.
Yes. Yes, you are. Interesting, though, for a man who is turning 40 this year, he's only likely to live to the age of 86, and so his middle age starts at 43.
He'll live longer if he doesn't marry.
You think so?
No, that's not true.
I think my husband's on a crash course.
It's interesting, though, because Scott is 8 months younger than I am, and he always gives me a hard time about that.
He continues to always remind you that you will, no matter how old he gets, you will always be older.
But he actually hit middle age long before I did, because I just hit it this year, apparently.
That's right. Yeah,
according to
and because he's mostly gray.
And because he's salt and pepper. We like to call it salt and pepper. I think that's a nice, but more appropriate thing to say. Okay, so this is funny, too. This is things that I can do at 40 that I couldn't do at 20. And tell me if y'all agree with this. Get on our Facebook page and talk about this at the Broadcast TV. So a couple of them. Cook a decent meal. Make a killer cup of coffee.
Yes.
Tell the truth and have a healthy relationship.
Tell the truth, yes.
Which is...
You think people tell the truth? I don't think people tell the truth at 40.
You don't?
No.
More than they did at 20 because
I think they lie better at 40 than they did at 20.
They give the appearance of telling the truth better at 40. Maybe that's true.
Better at it.
We're able to look past a person's flaws.
Yes.
Oh, I don't... Oh, you think that 40 people do
I think
that?
when you just get older, you just tolerate less. So it's like... You don't, when it comes to looking at people's flaws, it's like, well, if you have flaws, I have flaws, so I mean, like, I still don't really like you. But you don't try to, like, kiss somebody's butt to, like, make them like you, because, quite frankly, you don't need any more friends because you're middle-aged.
Basically, you're just awesome as you get older. So,
welcome back to the broadcast. Now, I would contend that you aren't a Texan if you don't like steak and potatoes. And when you visit D. Lincoln Steakhouse, you can order one that's grilled to perfection. Executive Chef JULIARD ISHIZUKA is here in the Sub-Zero Wolf Brentwood kitchen to show us hair steak with a delicious Texas bourbon sauce. We're keeping it local here, aren't we, Juliard?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you.
I have to tell you that my husband would love you if you could teach me how to cook a steak, because I am a complete neophyte in the kitchen. So if you can show me how to do this, you win.
So what I did is put this on high, very high heat, a little bit of oil, salt, pepper.
And what is this? I know it's steak, but what kind of steak is it?
It's called a hanger steak, which is basically the muscle right below the rib.
And isn't it kind of a more affordable cut of meat?
It's a more affordable cut of meat.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you don't have to pay a substantial amount of money, but you get as great and tender a cut just by getting this hanger steak. But I'm going to show you how to make the sauce in a moment. It's basically a Texas bourbon molasses sauce. I put a little bit of oil in here. I'm going to start with a little, it's canola oil, a little bit of garlic, shallots.
All the good smells going this morning.
Right, a little bit of tomato paste.
And these are all super easy ingredients, nothing too crazy whatsoever. This is something that I actually have in my kitchen. I make smoothies, that's about it, Chef.
A touch of mustard, and we're just gonna kind of toast that off. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of brown sugar.
Okay, when does the bourbon come in? That's the most important thing.
The bourbon comes in right at this moment.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna kind of glaze that off.
Okay.
We're gonna kind of cook off all that bourbon. It's a TX bourbon, that's what I'm using. Gonna get all that alcohol to cook off.
He left some for me to drink. That's after the show.
A little bit of malt vinegar. And we're just gonna let this reduce down. And finally, with a little bit of molasses.
That looks delicious, and it smells so good, too. And I'm dealing with a little bit of a head cold, but it's so fragrant that it even permeates what's stuck up here, for lack of a better way of putting it.
So this is all just going to cook down to a nice consistency.
And that's a pretty quick cook. Now, you cooked the hanger steak before we came on here. How long did this cook in the pan?
I just seared it for about roughly 3 minutes per side.
That's nothing.
And I hit it with a little bit of butter to give it a little bit more nicer sear and glaze.
Okay. Very cool. I'm impressed. I could do this. This is idiot-proof, isn't it?
I think you can.
I think we should change idiot-proof to Gina Miller-proof, because I'm an idiot in the kitchen.
For a little bit of roasted fingerling potatoes, I just roasted in the oven with a little salt, pepper, a little bit of oil, just real quick till it's nice and tender. That'll be a good starch for your dish. And I'm going to remove the steak here. I'm going to slice it ever so thinly with my knife here. So we got a good medium rare.
So that's medium, and that's the most popular way people like their steak. Every time I go to a restaurant, my husband says medium, rare to medium rare.
Rare to medium rare, yes, is what I prefer as well.
And can we show it, because it's pink? How should a medium rare steak look? Because it seems like every restaurant has a different barometer for gauging how their steak should be cooked. Right.
This is more on the rare side than I would like, but a medium rare would be more of a pink, pink warm center is what we're looking for. So we're just going to place this right on the plate.
Beautiful.
Like so.
Something tells me our most popular guest in studio, Fancy, would like this as well. Courtney's dog. Does Fancy want to come? Can she try it, Courtney? No. Courtney's, no.
And then the sauce is going to pour right over the steak. Like so.
That's beautiful.
And then I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of cilantro, give it some color. And that's your seared hanger steak with Texas bourbon molasses sauce.
Chef, this is one of those things that you see that looks like it's absolutely impossible to make, but in reality?
It's pretty simple. Pretty 8 basic ingredients. You got your steak, you got your potatoes, steak and potatoes. And tell me a little bit more about Dean Lincoln's Steakhouse as I get a chance to try this here. I'm going in. We've been open since September. It's a steak and burger bar concept, which we have like 9 gourmet burgers, such as a classic burger or even a tuna burger, a little bit of a cowboy burger, which has a similar molasses sauce to it, with a little crispy onions, pepper jack cheese. 4 to 5 different cuts of meat. We also have great seafood, appetizers, salads and sides. So it's a blend of a gourmet burger house to a steakhouse in a casual fare. Okay, here's the money test here. Very good. Thank you. Ooh. A little sweetness, but a little bit of saltiness, tanginess to it, too. Right. Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much.
As I swallow, I want to invite you to get the recipe made here today. All you have to do is visit thebroadcasttv.com and click on today's links. 2014 is in full swing, and there is no better time to start working on being your best you. We've got ways for you to tackle change and conquer your life when we return.
Well, if you got caught up in the hype of 50 Shades of Grey, or if you liked maybe making fun of those who did, then this is the musical for you. Joining me now are two of the stars of the hit parody 50 Shades, the musical. Welcome Alexis Field and Tiffany Dissette. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We're so excited to have you here, and we were talking in the break that y'all have been traveling around the country with this musical that if people think that they're going in to just watch all the scandalous stuff go down, they see a little bit of that, but it's more of a parody of the musical. Fill us in.
Absolutely. So the musical was actually started by a bunch of improvisers. So you can go in and expect to laugh your booty off. You'll definitely identify with a lot of little tidbits from the book. You'll see all of your favorite characters, and we follow the story of the book, but it's done in much more of a slapsticky sort of SNL style.
Okay, so I'm the only one who has not read 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, good. I haven't read either.
So if you haven't read the book,
I tried to read it and I couldn't. It was just, I just couldn't.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, the thing with the show is you really don't have to have read the book to understand what's going on and to also find it funny. You know, I've got a lot of friends and family that have not read the book either, and they just thought it was hysterical. They were rolling laughing. And another good thing with the show is it's not geared just towards women. Men come and they love it. They think it's hysterical. So it's definitely for, you know, men and women.
Okay, now y'all play a part of the book club of this. So it's kind of a book club that is narrating. Explain how that works in this musical.
They're kind of like your Greek chorus. The show opens with us, and we're kind of your way to ease into the story. Okay. And somebody, I guess we're like the people that the audience can identify with.
Yeah. So the three book club ladies are three housewives, you know, stereotypical.
Okay, and housewives, and you say stereotypical, I think a lot of housewives really got knee-deep and emotionally invested in 50 Shades of Grey. So in my mind, y'all portray that.
Yes, absolutely. And we all kind of go through our own transformation after reading the book. That's really fun to see, too.
So as you've been doing this show, have you gotten sucked into the whole 50 Shades phenomenon, which I guess it's kind of past. It's a few years old. We know this. But are you sucked in, and have you kind of gotten into the characters that are in the book and thought, oh, my gosh. Are you there?
Well, I mean, we're kind of desensitized to it by now, just because we've done the show so many times, and, you know, we know it's happening, but it's really fun to watch these audiences come in because they have like a certain expectation of what's going to happen, and then it's completely thrown off base of what they're expecting. So to see their reactions and to hear their laughter is just really refreshing for us as actors, you know.
I think that's one of the most fun things about doing this show is hearing those laughs come out of this audience. And it's not just ha-ha laughing. It's uproarious, knee slapping. The theater is shaking because they're laughing so hard.
Okay, but the book itself, is it funny?
No, it's serious.
The book itself is pretty, I don't want to use this word, but raunchy a little bit. I mean, it's like softcore porn. So do we see that in the musical too for those people that are maybe hoping for that?
There's definitely a lot of skin.
Okay.
But we can't give away too many secrets. But as you said before, for some people, it's a difficult read because it's just not their cup of tea, so it begs to be made fun of.
It does. It does. It's almost like soap operas.
It is.
It is melodramatic, and that's kind of what we do with the show, is take those little pieces and like completely go over the top with them.
Okay, I have a question. When you were reading the book and you're trying to get into character and you're knowing that you're going to have to present this on stage in musical form, at what point in the book were you reading it like, really? Please, nobody ever does this for real. What point happened?
This is not how that goes down.
Yeah, I mean, well, I had read the book when it first came out, so then when I auditioned for the show, it had been a couple years since I had read it, and I didn't reread it.
You didn't want to?
I didn't want to, honestly.
But maybe that was good to go off of your first instinct and your first reaction that you initially had, the eye-rolling, oh my gosh, people don't make love like this.
Well, and it's just like kind of perfect that they made a musical parody of it because it's the perfect material to do such a thing.
So you guys sing.
And the songs are so funny.
They're
You will
all original.
go out humming a whole bunch of songs.
Can you give us like 3 notes?
Do you want to do it?
Just do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Come on, never
We'll just figure it out. 20 seconds. We have time for some music.
Sing for us.
All right, ready?
I used to live my life knowing wrong from right, doing everything I oughta. It was also black and white. But here's the big decision that I have made. Wanna open my eyes and see all 50 shades.
50 shades.